Hi everybody, my name is Kostas and I'm a software engineer at the core team here at Memgraph, and I'm the first person who joined from Greece.
Can you share something about yourself? What did you do before joining Memgraph?
Definitely. So I hold a master's degree in computer science from the University of Edinburgh, and then I started working on the high-performance computing world where I was part of the team that implemented the SQL Open Standard. Basically, it's a heterogeneous programming model written in pure C++. At the same time, I was very involved with the C++ language, and I've decided to move on to the database world. And of course, my passion for C++ stays intact, so you probably will see me around, hanging around in the C++ committee meetings and conferences.
That's great motivation for joining Memgraph, but how did you find about us? Where did you apply?
That's a good question. I was on a call with a very good friend of mine who worked for Amazon Neptune, and he was talking and telling me all about the goodies in the graph database world. And that evening, I was actually browsing LinkedIn, and I stumbled on the Memgraph job listing for the core team, and the rest is history, basically.
And what do you do now at Memgraph exactly?
That's a good question. So I do a few stuff. First, I led the WebAssembly initiative, which basically allows you to implement database adapters in any programming language very, very easily. At the same time, I work on making Memgraph a distributed graph database, and my main responsibility there is working on the query execution side. And of course, when I get a chance, I'm always monitoring the overall health of the code base by following the latest C++ standards, and of course, implementing cool new features.
That sounds very interesting. Did you have any concerns before accepting the offer? Because the whole hiring process was done over the video calls and emails, and you didn't meet anyone from the company in person.
Well, I mean, for me, it was not a big deal because I've worked previously remotely. But I can say that it can be overwhelming for somebody who has never done it. But all I'm gonna say here is that Memgraph goes beyond and overboard to help you feel very welcome and kind of blend in from day one.
And do you like working in a remote team?
Personally, that's like my favorite part of work because so I'm crazy about traveling, and I'm also crazy about C++ and databases, and by working remotely I can basically blend them together. And it's great to have the feeling that you can travel the world while doing what you love the most, hacking database systems.
Do you feel like the team is more efficient when everyone's in the same location?
No, definitely not, because I think it's a waste of time to pretty much drive yourself to the office every single day. And especially if you look on big cities like London or Berlin, usually the commute time is more than an hour. And I think that your life becomes way better if you optimize that out completely. And that of course, like the side effect is that it offers a better work-life balance. And I think the best part is like for the core team, you can always jump at any point in time in a call with somebody. So being present is not physically required. Of course, unless it's a company retreat.
When you mentioned retreat, have you been to Croatia previously? How many times?
So I've been in Croatia 3 times already, thanks to Memgraph. The first time was in the company retreat, and that was like a great opportunity to meet everybody in person. I think what I've really liked that day was that Memgraph was able to introduce a few very interesting team bonding activities, and it kind of brought us all together. Of course, I'm not saying that we were not close with each other, but it was nice to see the company actually accelerating that team bonding stage. The second time was for the Christmas party, which was in December. And even though they didn't have to bring me in or whatever, they actually went overboard and suggested that I should join the Crescent party. And that was beautiful because it was such a nice way to kind of wrap up the year celebrating with a bunch of wonderful and very talented people.
Okay, so when you first joined Memgraph, you started a great new tradition. Each day you send a good morning message to everyone on Slack. Can you tell me more about how it started?
Yep, so we're working remotely and we don't see each other every day. I mean, even though we have dailies every day, you don't have the chance to speak directly with everybody else in the company. And I feel by saying good morning, it's a good way to kickstart and set the mood of the day for everybody else. And also it's a daily reminder that sometimes even if you're alone at your house and maybe you don't feel very well, people are thinking of you, and I think that puts a smile on your face even on the darkest days. So
Why should somebody join the core team?
So a few things here. The work itself is very interesting and graphs empower the world in many ways. And if you combine that with the power of the databases, what you end up with is a technology that can potentially affect millions of lives. Second of all, if you want to work with a bunch of very mad engineers and tackle super interesting and challenging problems, then you should definitely consider us. So check out our job listings.
Do you have any message to people thinking about joining Memgraph?
Big yes. Come and hack things with us, work with some of the most amazing and talented engineers, and change the world.
Thank you, Kostas. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a pleasure as well, Sarah. Thank you for your time.